All right, problem 29, a word problem. So let's look at that. You worked a total of 44.5 hours in 1 week. You're paid $12 per hour for the first 40 hours, and 1.5 times that amount for work past 40 hours. How much did you make? Okay, well, there's a lot of things we have to write down that we have here, and then what to figure out. So these top three pieces here are what we're given about this problem. So what we're given about this problem is the hourly rate for 40 hours. So that's just right here, $12.80 per hour for the first 40 hours. Per hour. That's like a fraction. That's over 1 hour. Okay. And the hourly rate for the hours worked over 40 hours, which is 1.5 times this amount. So we're going to have that amount, but you're going to get 1.5 times more than that. So it's saying multiply times 1.5. And that's going to be the rate, the hourly rate for the hours worked over 40 hours. Total hours worked is what we're also given, and that is 44.5. We need to figure out how much we made in the first 40 hours. How many hours did you work over 40 hours? How much did you make in those 4 hours over the 40? It's not 4. It's less than 4. Alright, then you need to know the money made in 40 hours plus the money made in the hours over 40 hours. This 4 shouldn't be 4 because it's not really 4. Let's just erase that. Okay, so how much you made in the first 40 hours? Well, you take 40 hours and simply multiply it by the rate that you get for working 40 hours, which is that $12.80 per hour. So it's a number times the decimal. Then you're going to take, how many hours did you work over the 40 hours? Well, you have 44.5 hours that you worked. So you figure that out, which the math for that, let's put a little equal sign there, and we haven't figured these out yet. But you're going to do 44.5 minus 40. So that's the math. And then, how much did you make in the hours over the 40 hours? How much did you make? So that will be this answer here times our new rate. So we have a lot of math to do before we can even do step 3. Let's look at the rate that let's calculate the rate over here. And this is tough. This is not a lot of room, and I'm working on this part. Let's calculate this rate. It's going to be 12.8 times 1.5. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry your 4. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus that 4 is 14. And carry your 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. Plus the 1 is 6. You have 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Alright. So you add, everything is normal. This is normal multiplication procedure. But, and I'm carrying that 1, so it's 1 plus 6 is 7 plus 2 is 9. It looks like this 1 is in this place, but it's not. Okay, now I count my decimals. This is 12.8. I have 2 decimal places, so I make sure the answer has 2 decimal places. So my new rate, the new rate, hourly rate for hours worked over 40 hours is $19.20. So what you're making when you're doing that overtime is $19.20 per hour instead of just the $12 per hour. That's pretty good. So when you have how much did you make in the hours over this 40 hours, for step 3 you're going to have to use this rate, and you're also going to have to use this calculation. So let's quickly calculate, and I'm going to remove this work because this is my work spot. So I'm going to delete it. Let's now work out 44.5 minus 40. And remember to put your place values in there. And that's just a little, whoops, glitch. That's not supposed to be there. Okay, so 5 minus 0 is 5. Line up your decimal point with the other numbers. 4 and 4 minus 4 is 0, so 4.5. So we have 4.5 hours that are worked over 40 hours. So that will be 4.5 hours. Let's put hours here. And times the new rate, because any of those hours worked over the 40 hours, you get more money for it. Whoops. Then you're going to multiply by this number here, 19.2, because you're making $19.20 per hour that you're doing the overtime. Alright, so then the money made in 40 hours, plus the money made in the hours over 40 hours, you're going to add those two numbers. Well, those two numbers are going to be whatever you get for this answer plus whatever you get with this answer. So let's figure those out. So step 1, how much did you make in 40 hours, is simply 12.8. So it'd be zeros for the first 4 answers. 0 times 0, 0 times 8, 0 times 2, 0 times 1. Then you have 4 times 0, which is another 0. 8 times 4, which is 32. Carry that little 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 4 times 1 is 4, plus that 1 is 5. So you add 0, 0, 2, 1, 5. Now you have 2 decimal places, so I put it over 2 decimal places, beep, beep, so that you made $512 for this first 40 hours. Alright, now this one, 4.5 times 19.20, or $19.20. Now we're going to calculate, well, what did you make for that extra 4.5 hours that you worked? Multiply that. $19.20 times the 4.5. And you'll have 10. Carry your 1. 9 times 5 is 45, plus the 1 is 46. Carry your 4. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 4 is 9. Goodness, it's hard to... That's a 6. Okay, 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 9 is 36. Put the 6 there. Carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 3 is 7. And add, you have 0, because you're adding 0 to 0, 0 to 0 again. You're adding 6 plus 8, which is 14. Carry the 1. So you have 10 plus 6, which is 16. Carry the 1. 8. 7 plus 1 is 8. And you have 1, 2, 3 decimal places, so you go over 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So you made an additional $86.40 during that time. You have to add money made in 40 hours. That's this amount here, $512. $512 plus this. You 86.4 or 40 cents that will be the total money that you made in 44.5 hours of work. So let's add that. You will have 512. Remember where your decimal is. It's there. And when you add, you line up the decimals. So 86 point, making sure to make that 6 good, 40. Now fill in beyond the decimal and add. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. The decimal comes down there. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. And then 5 comes down. So let's make that a 9. $598.40. So if you have a Christmas break job that pays you overtime, when you work overtime because there's a lot of people in line, you'll get more money. Okay.